Hi, my name's Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to review a fundraising investor database case study for a client in the machine learning sector. If you watch my previous videos, you know that you can click my Fiverr link below to get information on investor databases for venture capital, private equity, angel groups, family investment offices, and more. I also help clients with pitch deck reviews. If you're getting ready to send your pitch deck out to investors, I have a service on Fiverr where I will review it for you. Approximately 80% of the pitch decks that I receive are not suitable to be sent out to investors. And just starting now, individual sector databases are now free with a pitch deck review, and that is one only per client. You can contact me for details. So in other words, the database that you're going to see in this video is actually free if you've already ordered or are ordering a pitch deck review from me. They have to be done at the same time. So this video highlights a comprehensive database of machine learning investors I recently created for a USA-based client. What is this client looking for? This client is looking for $650,000, and they are in the AI machine learning sector, and I've just kept it very generic. Very, very popular sector right now. There's an awful lot of startups that are in this field, and a large amount of venture capital and private equity money has been poured into this sector. And if you've been doing any research on that, it is going to probably go on for a number of years. But there is a huge amount of funds being allocated for it. This client would like to end up with around 300 contacts, and the database source that I'm using for this one is just machine learning and AI. So if the database had those as the keywords, I'm using them in this case. So how do I find these contacts? I have a master database of 400,000 contacts, and that includes new contacts that I've just added as we're sitting here now as the beginning of September 2023. This includes a very extensive database of venture capital, private equity, angel investors, family investment offices, hedge funds, and more. It also includes a very large database of high net worth and ultra high net worth individual investors, and that particular database is for select clients only. And you can contact me to see whether you qualify for that particular database. So what did this final database include? So for this client, I was able to find 420 contacts. That included 200 emails, 40 LinkedIn addresses, and it included 420 websites. And some of the contacts had the titles and email addresses as well. So what type of contacts will benefit from machine learning investors database? That could include AI or ML startups. It could involve tech giants and established companies, AI solution providers, research and academic institutions, healthcare and diagnostic firms, or a financial and e-commerce sector. So there's a very broad range of startups and groups that like the databases. And like what I tend to tell people who are fundraising is, don't treat it purely as fundraising. When you go out to the market with your pitch deck, you're not only trying to source funds, but you're advertising to other potential customers of yours that you have this product that's great, and most of the time you're already up and running and earning revenue. So that's really important when you're fundraising, is try not to just treat it as a fundraising exercise, because it can be very draining to try to do that. You'll find that many people who start fundraising actually pick up a significant amount of business along the way. So let's take a look at the database. So all my database searches start on this dashboard, and as you can see here, I have 252,000 contacts, and again, that's venture capital, private equity, hedge funds, family investment offices, and investment banks, everything that has to do with raising capital. And it is an updated database that has not only emails but LinkedIn's in some cases. And for example, if I were to start off with just a simple search of tech and not hit any country or city, then I'm going to come up with 4,455 contacts. If I wanted to narrow that down a bit, for example, let's say somebody was specifically looking for New York, as the city, then I would have 217 contacts to take a look at in that case. And then I would simply go here, take a look at the see results, and I could export the search results onto an Excel spreadsheet. So that's how I start off with all my searches for my clients. So now we're over on the database portion, and as you can see here on the bottom, we have just a little over 430 contacts that I was able to find for this client, and that includes any contacts that had either AI or machine learning as their keyword. Now, it's also important to realize that this is a smaller database that is very targeted. If this client wanted to broaden their horizons, and for example, if I just punched in tech into the database, I would end up with around 4,000, 3,500 contacts, maybe even more if they're looking on a global basis. But in this first example, what they're doing is they're drilling down into the ones that have said specifically on their websites or in any other public knowledge that they are in the AI or the machine learning sector. Now, they're located in the US, but they're willing to look outside. That's why you're going to see Japan and Germany and Taiwan and Canada and Hong Kong, for example. The client will look at what the particular firm does and sees, we'll see whether it matches what they're looking for. There are some countries that just buy it for logistics. It doesn't make sense for them to try to raise funds for, but there's enough here from the US and the UK and Canada that make it easy for them to start to target. So you're going to get the country, the type. Now, most of these are going to be either venture capital or private equity. There's a lot of accelerators, so those are also good. Micro venture capital, angel groups are also great places to launch your product. So there's lots of those involved, but you can see as we scroll down here, most of them are in the VC field. There's some corporate venture capital ones here, and of course corporate venture capital are just venture capital firms that are part of a larger corporation. For example, most of the very large Fortune 500 companies will have a venture capital arm that helps them find smaller startups that will supplement their business, so there's a fair bit of that. And not to forget family investment offices. My database of family investment offices is probably one of the largest that there is, and those are great sources of very, very wealthy contacts to approach. Has the website, some LinkedIn, some emails, and a fair bit of information on the description as well. That you're going to be able to take a look at that will help them do more research. These databases are not to be used for spamming. They're to be used for professional fundraising campaigns where you already have a pitch deck ready. You've got your investor letters. I actually recommend to anybody that's fundraising have 3 forms of investor letters that you can use for different cases. Because what they can be used for is to not only go out to do active fundraising, but to also do fact-finding and build relationships with different venture capital firms. Because although they may not want to invest now, maybe in a year from now, 2 years from now, when you've already raised funds and you're ready for the next level, you've already made a contact. So never waste an opportunity to make a connection with these type of contacts. So that's how I'm helping this USA-based company in the machine learning sector with their fundraising. Are you looking for updated investor databases? My databases include venture capital, private equity, family offices, angel investors, angel groups, and high net worth investors with over 400,000 verified global contacts. And be sure to check out my full database of family investment offices, the perfect way to access ultra high net worth investors. This is the largest database of family investment offices that you're able to access. There's over 10,000 contacts. Click my Fiverr link below for more information. Thank you for watching this video.